Good morning, everybody. It's myself, Ron Cole, director here at Collinson Hall, with my wonderful colleague Rob, who is our senior valuer here. And we're here today to talk about our upcoming property launch. It's going to be the biggest launch we've ever done, and there's lots of things happening around it. But Rob, here's some statistics for you. The properties that we launched in 2025, 100% of them from that launch received offers. That's the truth. Absolutely, 100% of them received offers. I can also tell you that we did 4 weeks of full staffed open days. It was crazy. Michelle, who is our senior negotiator stroke sales progressor, tells me all the time she worked 6 weekends in a row, and she did. And more, and it was Saturdays and Sundays, and we had some fantastic results. Another really interesting one is 5 of the properties that we took to market received offers in excess of asking price. One, which turned out to be one of the most fabulous reviews I've ever received as a business, which is actually talking about the level of valuation they received from other agents, the level of valuation they received from us, and the fact that they achieved such a significant amount higher. And that was functioned solely, solely, Rob, bit by you, however, by the absolute momentum of this year's property launch. And the next one's going to be even bigger. So we're already starting to talk to vendors about getting to market. There's lots of them who are interested, and that's a really, really great news, because it's becoming more and more of a thing. We're actually going to do quite a lot of specific stuff this year to really help promote our vendors' homes. But Rob, what was your feelings on the 2025 launch, given some of those statistics?
It was great, very, very busy. It's the second one I've done now, and yeah, Michelle, along with all the rest of the team, working every single Saturday in January, and Sundays as well where required. But it was great. It was lovely to see so many of our clients come to launch. I think we launched 35 properties in the end, 35 different clients. Every single one of them received an offer. As you've already alluded to, some over the asking price. Camp Road, which you've referenced already, yep, huge amount of difference between the swing, the lowest valuation and the highest valuation, which was ours, and we surpassed that with an offer 20 grand above his own asking price. So very happy chap. I think this year is looking equally, if not better. Some clients already committed to the launch, and quite a few more that are coming through of all shapes and sizes. So yeah, it's going to be a busy one.
It is. I mean, I think we're in October. Christmas, depending on where you shop, is already with us. However, the new year will be with us, and there's a few trials and tribulations on the out, going on around us. We've got a budget that's later in the year than we expected. We could say that it's held back some of the people from making some of our purchasers and vendors from making decisions. I think what we always see is the great British public rebound well in early January and desperately want to get out. Rob, what would you say if you were thinking as a vendor, well, shall I market my home early next year, and what should I do about getting a valuation in the next couple of weeks and discussing timeframes?
Yeah, absolutely. I think the next 2 months we're going to be very, very busy with that exact topic. So lots of valuations already pre-booked, forward booked for the month of October and into November. Lots of conversations going on with potential clients about how to really get the best out of the value of their asset. And I think the January launch is going to be the platform for sellers to get a very early start on 2026. I think, as you've alluded to, we have a budget lurking in the month of November, which probably should have sat in the month of October, if I'm fair. So there may well be a little bit of hesitation we find as the weeks creep up towards the budget, which I think will give us even more impetus to do a really positive New Year launch. A lot of buyers, I think, this side of Christmas, as they typically do each year, fail to find, and they are straight back into the market with earnest on the 2nd of January. Phones start ringing. We're very, very busy, and it's all about talking to buyers. And naturally, this time of the year as well, you'll have buyers that are making preparations to come into the marketplace for the typical traditional spring markets, with a view of settling into their new homes by the summer. What that means for clients that we're talking to now is, if there is no real urgency to sell this side of Christmas, with the evidence that we've had on the last 4 launches we've provided to the public, the January 2026 launch will be an epic time for them to get a real good head start on the market, and more often than not, sell for a premium price.
Rob, thank you very much for your time today. Very much appreciated. Cheers, sir.
Welcome.